This is a classic mistake. I've done it before and you've done it before too, I'm very sure. You start out the match, you feel great, you have your touch today, so you want to blast your opponent off the court right away. You start out hitting way too hard and making mistakes because you're hitting so hard. So you lose your rhythm and you lose your touch and you end up playing crappy the rest of the match. After the match you sit there and you wonder, how the hell could I lose this match? I felt so good in the beginning, and how the hell could I play so crappy the rest of the match? And this is exactly our topic today, 5 things you should never do if you are a tennis player. So let's get right into it. Here's how you can avoid that from happening. Always start your matches with rhythm. Try to focus more on placing the shot and don't overpace right away in the beginning. Give yourself some time to get used to the rhythm of your opponent's strokes and to get used to the match atmosphere. As a rule for you, try to not hit any hard shots for at least 2 or 3 games in the beginning of the match. As soon as you feel like you have found your rhythm, you can start going more for your shots and you will realize that you won't do as many mistakes anymore. You can't even hit 3 forehands inside the court in one game, man. Maybe you should start thinking about playing chess or something. It's not your sport, just not your sport, man. This is another one I'm guilty of for sure. You're on the court, you're in a tennis match, maybe even training, and you hit 10 great shots, but then you miss 3 easy shots in a row. And you start talking negatively to yourself right away, and you talk yourself worse than you are. You should stop playing tennis if you can't even hit a forehand in the fucking court, man! We tennis players tend to be very dramatic on court. And from the outside, it sometimes even looks like we're having a midlife crisis on the tennis court in the middle of a match. The story of my life. Everything I touch turns into shit. This is mostly unnecessary and for sure never helpful. So try to avoid negative talk as much as possible, because in 9 out of 10 cases it will only harm your game and has nothing positive for you.
Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
Instead, try to tell yourself what to do better right away. For example, instead of saying, "Why am I not moving today? I am so slow," tell yourself, "You have to move faster, man. You have to be faster than that." This way you are being aggressive, but in a positive way. And you are fixing your problem or your mistake right there at this point. And your focus is going to shift on doing it correct the next time the same situation comes along, instead of focusing on the negative and how bad you are. Very important, when you throw your racket, never hit the post of the fence, otherwise your rim is going to break. Always aim between the posts, then you're a professional racket thrower. This is a very underestimated point in tennis. But believe it or not, a poorly packed bag can affect your game, and it might be the reason why you lose a close match. Just imagine it's 4-5 in the second set or maybe even the third set. You realize you need some energy, so you go to your bag, and you go to search for a power bar or a banana or something you can eat. It takes you ages to find the bloody banana in your bag because it's just a pure chaos. After searching for ages in your bag, it's finally time to get back on court. Now it's your turn to serve to stay in the match. So you walk up to the baseline, still chewing on the banana you just stuffed in, and you serve and you make a mistake right away. Maybe you lose your temper right there, maybe you don't, but you won't be as calm as if you hadn't had to search so long on the bench in your bag for the banana. Now you go ahead and you lose the match. I mean, accept the things you cannot change, but this situation is avoidable. Like, you don't have to have a perfectly packed bag, but at least have some kind of system in your bag so you can find whatever you need when you need it fast. A lot of players still follow the myth that the first serve always has to be as hard as possible and flat, and the second serve has to be with some kind of spin and a little bit slower. They go in the match and they hit every single first serve as hard as they can, and then they wonder why the return starts coming back better and better. Try to think a little bit more out of the box here. You're giving the return player a lot of rhythm by hitting the same serve all the time, and it doesn't even matter anymore that you're going all out. Try to mix it more up, hit some slice serves and some kick serves more often on your first serve, and then sometimes surprise your opponent with a really hard flat serve on the body or through the middle when he doesn't expect it. Now, if you're not that advanced yet that you can hit slice or spin serves, try changing up the speed of your serve. Like, hit the first serve not always with 100%, but sometimes hit it with 75%, the next time with 90%, and the next time maybe even with 81.5%. Just change it up, guys. On the second serve, also try to mix it up sometimes. You don't have to serve it all the time into the backhand of your opponent, and it doesn't have to be the classic spin serve all the time. You can also hit a slice on the second serve, or you can serve on the body or to the forehand side of your opponent. Sliding is good, but some players tend to overdo it. Whenever you have the chance to run behind the ball and stand behind it without sliding, do it. This way the distance to the ball is going to be much more precise and your stance is going to be way more solid. But still, there are some situations where sliding makes sense, especially in the defense. When you have no other chance, sliding is very helpful to get behind the ball and to stay in the point. These were 5 things you should never do as a tennis player. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope there was at least one point you haven't considered yet. And now, go and get your tennis bags and tidy them up, guys. I know they're a mess. And get that banana out that has been in there since 2 months and has changed to black already. I can smell it here. Anyway, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. We are always thankful if you leave us a like there. And of course, if you want to stay up to date on our latest content, subscribe to the WTN channel. This was it for today. I wish you all the best. Your Leon.